Hey, I think we've got a problem in America because I think there's some people that think that grace is for sinning, not transformation, but for sinning. And if you really want to hear this message in its entirety, go on our webpage, livingwordshawnee.org, and click on, and you go to media, and you just follow it, and you pick up the sermon for Sunday, December 13th, and you really need to hear it. Because I think we're living in a moment in America where we kind of get this feeling that the Jesus that we're worshiping doesn't exist. The Jesus that we are portraying doesn't exist. And the reason I say that, in Jude, he says, "For certain men have crept in unnoticed, who long ago were marked out for this condemnation, ungodly men who turn the grace of our God into a license to sin." One translation says a license to allow us to live immoral lives. And so there seems to be an attitude. I don't think anyone would probably just come out and say, "Oh, I think that you ought to just go ahead and sin and God will cover it." But it seems like that there's not a standard that's being held up that this is what Christians do. That Christians have been transformed. Christians have been changed. Christians are no longer, involved in sexual immorality. They're not involved in homosexuality. They're not involved in partying in the sense of drinking and alcohol and to abusing it and drugs. This is a lifestyle that is not ours. And a lot of the media and entertainment that we're looking at, it flies in the face of everything that we believe in the relationships that you see on television or in movies, and it's constantly, hardly ever would it ever portray people living in a godly sexual relationship in marriage. And so what I'm saying is that we're drifting, and we need to get back to holding up a standard of this is what a Christian looks like. I mean, Jesus said you're going to have to forsake everything and come after me. And to think that we get by with this, you ought to just read the whole book of Jude. I would encourage you to do it. He says in there, don't be deceived. With the people of Israel, when they came out of Egypt, He didn't spare them when they rebelled. He didn't spare Sodom and Gomorrah when they rebelled into sexual immorality. These are the things that are written in Jude. He says Cain did his own thing and he wasn't excused. Balaam did his own thing. He encouraged people to sin and he was later killed. Korah, who rebelled against Moses and said, "Who do you think you are?" In other words, coming up against authority, saying, "No, you're not going to tell me what to do." Well, the earth swallowed up and got him. So I just want to encourage you. This is not how we want to live. We want a holy standard for Jesus, right? See you tomorrow.